Hey Ben.
Hey Jake.
I can't believe I haven't told you this story before. It's okay. It was weird. So
Yeah. Are you sure you want to tell me?
yeah,
Don't want to tell the doctor instead?
Christmas. I'm sitting on the couch. Christmas party last year with work.
Ooh.
Ended up at the Espy in St Kilda, iconic venue.
Yeah.
And so having a few drinks, everything's great. Who should walk in? Wayne Carey.
Wayne Carey.
Wayne
The
Carey.
Duck.
He is obviously the self-appointed mayor of St Kilda. The way he strolled into that joint, and just literally by pure coincidence, our group sort of mixed together
Oh.
and happened to be standing next to the great man.
So you're mates with the Duck?
No, don't
Oh.
really want to be. Check it past. But
Bernal Bridges.
and so
So he's coming on the show?
yeah, no.
said yes.
And our Christmas party was fancy dress, and the shorts I was wearing didn't have pockets, so I was sporting a bum bag to keep my belongings in.
You went.
Wayne Carey turns to me and goes, "You know I bought bum bags in, don't you?"
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, I guess." And he goes, "Mate, I got arrested wearing one day. Then all of a sudden, everyone's wearing bum bags." Oh, see you, Wayne. Ben, welcome to another episode of the Magoos. Back again, we're wearing our Carlton Draft shirts.
Yeah.
15% off. You use the code word Magoos.
Exactly.
Not a couple of people have actually done that.
Yeah.
Use the code word, so that's great.
It does work. We weren't just putting it out there.
No, I've got my Carlton mids on. You've obviously got String of Things. Very
String of Things.
punny stuff. Looking forward to the Fish and Crips shirt coming out, which I'm sure will be in the works. With a bit of
Royalty for that one.
yeah, I made it up. Yep.
Yeah.
But another disappointing week for the Bombers,
Yeah.
which we'll get to very, very shortly. Plenty going on in the footy world. We've got plenty of callers lined up for the show. A
do.
lot of the Magoos community loving getting involved and having their say. Looking forward to that. But the only reason anyone listens to the show is to get the pitch.
Look, it's been too much because I've spent the last day and a half to 2 days coming up with this new one. Because there's been a few...
You realise that
there's no...
you're not coming up with them. The content exists. You're just cutting out.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, well, I'm
there's
shitting.
anything
I'm
that
shitting,
really
yeah.
exists, you know? You know, football exists, but we come up with the podcast, you know? It's just sort of...
What's the pitch?
Okay, so I've done it, yeah, all right. And so I do want to say that this will be the final one because there's absolutely nowhere I can go from here. It's just...
Okay, and so that'll make it 3, and the people can decide.
People can decide.
Do a Twitter poll.
Yeah, we do like our Twitter polls.
Yeah. We'll just manipulate the result for whatever we want anyway. So
Well, that's true. That's
Follows,
later. That's
at
later on in the
Magoos
show. Essentially, like I do just want to put it out there that no matter what you think of this, we'll still remain friends, and you know, it's taken me a lot of time to do it. Where I haven't,
I didn't speak to you for 6 months when the podcast was on.
That is true. You did follow me on, I think, LinkedIn about 3 months in. So thanks, mate. Anyway, so this is what the DJ will like to call a mashup. So I've gone.
Oh God.
Yeah. I'll just fucking
Ben's
play.
mixtape.
Two regular dudes set out on a journey.
We're on a mission from God.
To represent all the blokes out there who couldn't quite make it. Who couldn't quite get a game in the seniors. Who couldn't quite make it to training twice a week.
For the people who have waited 72 years to see.
The Magoos to become a podcast.
Here it is! Who would have thought that
The Magoos.
would be just as good as the original?
Let's go, Magoos. The Magoos.
Everybody was
Magoo. Magoos. Magoo.
That's it.
We were on. You were on to something early.
Yeah, I
It just spiraled out of control.
It's
It's
too
like
much
you
pressure.
learned how to incorporate the songs and you could just cut up any song you heard of.
Yeah, it was basically, I actually cut that. That was about 4 minutes originally.
I think the answer lies somewhere in between. Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
I think that, I like the intro, the two guys set out on the journey, all that stuff, and I think you can work your Brett Kirk in there.
Yeah, couldn't find the audio for that. That's why it's not in there.
Well, we're going to put it to... Couldn't find the audio. It's been 7 days. But we'll put it to our Magoos viewers out there, the audience, and they can vote. Hopefully they vote for the option we're going to use.
The shorter ones.
But
Save some data.
you've avoided the question for too long about Essendon for mine. You've been hiding away, and it's not good enough. What's going on at the hangar, Ben? Sorry to take a serious turn here for anyone who might actually be interested in talking footy at some stage.
Yeah. Do you want to know what's
tell
going
me what's
on? at the
going on.
hangar?
I know what's going on, but you
well,
tell
why
me
don't
what's
you tell
going
me
on.
what's
No,
going on?
I'd
Hang on.
love to hear it from you.
There's just absolutely no ticker there. No structure, no game plan. Just too much. Too much. Like, it's... I actually don't know. I was there against Saints on the weekend, and luckily we played the Saints, because if it was anyone else, it wouldn't have been 11 points. We made them look pretty good, and they were not. And we were just... You saw all the footage of just the amount of clangers, not even in possession clangers. You saw Cole Langford. He's got to go. Like, Worsfold
Taking
needs...
names now.
Yeah, Worsfold needs to actually put a foot down, I think. I'm not calling for his head. I think that's just ridiculous.
Do you think James Hird could ever coach Essendon again?
I think people in the media, and you know this, that this is my thoughts, that people in the media want to keep their job, so they will write whatever they want to write. I don't see James Hird at the club anytime soon. No, I do not. But I think Worsfold needs to actually has a crack and go, you know what, let's just play the kids if you guys aren't going to play the style or whatever. Bring in Irving Mosquito, bring in these boys. Like Langford and Myers are just trying to replace these big bodies in the midfield, but they're just not. They're not cutting the mustard.
I've heard on OK Authority that James Hird is a serious chance to coach. Not to play. He's not playing. He's not coming
I would
back.
rather see him play.
Yeah, you could probably do that. But a serious chance to coach Essendon again.
Yeah, when?
Well, obviously in the not too distant, to replace Worsfold.
You reckon this season? Is this what the...
I still think Essendon will come good. I mean, it's great to bag them, but I mean, they've got enough on the list to come good. They're obviously... But what you said they were missing, the structure, the heart. You know who had all that and they got rid of? Brendan Goddard.
Yeah.
Brendan Goddard played with passion. He played with and we spoke about it last season. We spoke about, how they just wanted to pile into him and then Essendon sort of moved him on against his wishes, whatever. Just signed for Caulfield Grammarians, actually.
Oh, cool.
In the VAFA, Brendan. So there's that
Hopefully
for you.
provide some structure there.
But now they're saying that Essendon just roam around and, that no one knows what's going on. There's no structure. There's no fluency. Don't play with any sort of potency, And then, but last year it was, how demonstrative is Brendan Goddard? Because he was wanting them to win. He was lining them up and
You did bring that up a few times last year, and
it still annoys me.
I actually tend to agree with you that, he did the pointing and stuff like that, but he cares. I agree, we do need that. We need someone who cares.
And it looks like it's bereft of leadership.
It is,
bereft of
absolutely.
someone who's actually happy to get their hands dirty.
Jono Brown mentioned it on the couch, and he said all the off-season pickups we've picked up, they're not the kind of bloke who'll pick up someone and say, follow me. They're all a little bit like me in a way. I totally agree. There's not enough leadership there either.
It's just interesting because that's one of those things that you just can't find all of a sudden in a season.
No.
Even if they start playing.
No, I can't see people diving on the ball anytime soon.
Wow. So, I mean, there's our serious footy chat, by the way, Ben. So
we've got the producer winding it up.
So it's far too serious for us. So we might as well get stuck into the rest of the show.
Let's do it.
Ben, favourite time of the week in the show here when we go to our socials who have voted during the week for the game of the round.
Now, you haven't told me who's won this.
It was a close one this week between the grand final rematch of Collingwood and West Coast and against the cellar dwellers of the competition in Melbourne and Essendon.
Well, you did send me a little message whilst the West Coast and Collingwood game was well and truly ahead in the votes, and you wanted to sabotage it somehow because you said you didn't know a West Coast supporter or something.
The best laid plans. I know a West Coast supporter, but
couldn't get it done, so it's easier for
this would be better. And it's also fun to to kick Essendon while they're down. So we've got and Melbourne actually. I don't care for them either. So we've got Matt on the line, who is a dedicated Melbourne fan, and Hannah, who is an Essendon fan, joining us tonight. Guys, thanks for joining the Magoos podcast.
Thanks for having me.
friend.
Don't talk over each other. So, Matt, we'll throw to you first, as you know how the Game of the Week conference call works. You can state your claim why you think the D's will get the chocolates this Friday night.
Oh, Jake, good to be on again, by the way. I have absolutely zero confidence that we'll get the chocolates. The only thing that I've learnt that I can depend on Melbourne is to constantly let me down. So, yeah, I'm not really confident at all.
Okay, well, that argument will be tough to top, but Hannah, I guess it's over to you, because, I mean, Essendon are flying as well, so this should be pretty easy.
Yeah.
Honestly, boys. Also, hello, thanks for having me on.
Welcome, Hannah.
First time caller, long time listener.
Well, we rang you.
Matthew, all the same. Matthew, I reckon I could say the same about you. Always disappointing, honestly. I think D's are going to do bad things this week, and we've got Hooker back, so I'm a happy gal.
Play the ball, not the man, Hannah.
Keep going. If you two want to sort this out between you, go for it.
Can I just have a query, guys? So with the Game of the Week voting, can we get a definition on Game of the Week? Because I'm really surprised that this one got up.
Yeah, I am too, Matt. As I said just before we flew to you, that I don't believe it was the Game of the Week. That Jake apparently, or the social media kid, has been doing some rigging on the votes just so we can get...
Yeah, we took creative license with this one, but it was very close. But, I mean, there's huge ramifications, Matt, you know. Last year's prelim finalists go zipping 3. Look out, they'll have to sack Goody.
Well, I did run into someone the other day who worked in the footy media, and he said that this was on Saturday afternoon. He said if we both lost that day and that we were zipping 2, that was Channel 7's absolute dream, because there was going to be montages, close-ups of the coaches, and that they couldn't wait. He was praying for 2 losses.
You reckon Bruce McAvaney would come in his pants, do you?
Terrible language.
Yeah, I'll let that one alone.
All right, Hannah, how much are Essendon going to win by?
Oh, God, at least a goal if we're lucky, honestly.
Well, you have to win by at least 8 points.
We're struggling to kick 5 for the game, Hannah. I don't even think we're going to win by a goal. I think it might be a draw. That's my conclusion.
Honestly, if we come back in the fourth quarter, we'll be lucky.
And Matt, I mean, you were pretty grim on the Demons, but if they do win, how much do you think they're going to win by?
Look, I think we'll, when we get up, if we get up, it'd probably be sort of a scrappy affair. We can't really seem to kick goals at the moment, so I don't know. I reckon we'll win by 22 points.
Very interesting. That turned around very quickly. Well, that was probably the most pessimistic version of the Game of the Week conference call we will ever likely have. So, Matt and Hannah, thanks very much for tuning in, calling through this evening, and good luck to both sides this Friday night. I hope it's a draw.
Thanks, legends.
guys.
Me too.
See you guys.
Bye.
So,
Ben, you've started the 2019 season off very, very nicely. You're everyone's favourite Magoo on the socials. Everyone's loving your work so far. So I thought, I've got to lift my game. You're a bit like St Kilda, aren't you? You know, no one really expected you to be any good. No one really knows why you're going well, but it's happening. So get used to it.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm going to have to bring something fresh
Now you have mentioned this during the week
to the table. And this is where we have to cast our minds back to last year's grand final. Collingwood West Coast, Dom Sheed in the dying moments kicks one of the most famous goals in grand final history. And my mystery guest on the line was there and had an encounter with Dom Sheed that day. And this is where I'll bring in Jack, who is on the line for us. Jack, how you going, mate?
I'm good, thanks, boys. How are you?
Yeah,
Good,
very well,
thanks,
thank
Jack.
you. So, talk us through it. Now, one of the most famous moments in grand final history, and you were right there to witness it all, and then had an encounter with the man in question, Dom Sheed.
Yep, so we're on the wing, the side that he kicked the goal. So probably about 4 rows back, me and the old man. So once the final siren went and we knew who was going to win, we quickly tried to rush to the fence to try to get some happy snaps with the players, which wasn't really that successful, to be honest. They were just sort of high-fiving and sort of making their way on unless they sort of spotted someone they knew. But luckily enough, we got a hold of Dom Sheed, so I think I pretty much grabbed him around his neck while he was lifting the cup, which has now been in the Herald Sun a couple of times, and it was
Also illegal.
Story on the AFL.com a few times, so it's been a little bit of a famous photo that's gone around, but Dad's pretty happy about. He's got it printed off, so it's at home.
Right, so we're for those watching it on watching this podcast on YouTube at the moment, we're obviously seeing these images now of the post game celebrations, and also they'll be up on our socials. The love story via our Instagram. You can see the goal, the shot, and then what now is an infamous tattoo that you've got since that day. Can you talk us through that?
Hello.
Yeah, so it was a little bit of a drunk idea that I thought was going to be quite funny. So I got on my left shin in print, just got thanks Dom Sheed. So I thought it would be a bit funny. But to be honest, it hasn't got the greatest reaction. It's probably the best laugh it's got, and that's not even a joke. So unfortunately, it wasn't the biggest success. But another time, drinking again, I thought, so I have Dom Sheed on social media. He's a little bit of a lad, so I thought he might get around it. So I sent him the photo of my tat, and he wrote for the boys. And all I got was a scene and no comment.
Oh, he's seen ya.
Double negative, really.
Well, you know what, Jack? I'm going to use your story of woe, of ecstasy and agony, to win back the Magoos viewers, to make me their number one host again, to overtake Ben, and I'm going to get you a response from Dom Sheed for that tattoo by this time next week. So.
Well, that'd be great. That'd almost complete the grand final, I think, for me.
There you go.
Do we have a name for this?
This is Operation Get Dom Sheed to recognise Jack's tat.
Okay.
I like it.
I don't mind it.
This time next week, Magoos viewers and Jack, I promise you, Dom Sheed will have recognised that tattoo and given a comment on it. So
I'm going to also inbox him and tell him not to reply.
So make sure, Magoos listeners, you go to our socials and you see the tattoo itself, the photos of the day, and then tag Dom Sheed in the comments so he sees it. So, Jack, thank you very much. I promise you this time next week we'll have a response. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy the last week of your life where Dom Sheed doesn't know who you are.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks,
Cheers, Jack. All right, Benny, after I brought back the Magoos moment of the week last week, you delved back into your archives and had a bit of a listen and tried to jog your memory as to what you brought to the show last year.
Yeah.
And you've gone back and you've revived the cane corns of the week.
Yeah, a little bit of a twist though, because it was
an awful segment.
It was a great segment. People loved it. They enjoyed it. I had people going, oh, this person. That's where I got the idea that instead of, because I got a little bit tired of it by the end of it. Just tired of ragging on people. So I just thought,
wasn't your go, wasn't your style.
Wasn't really. There's
You're a positive guy.
A couple, like, here and there, I was a bit pissed off with a few people. Then I was just searching for it. I was just like, hey, did you see what he wrote in that one part of that one little section of that one column article that he did? Like, it was just real nitpicky shit. So I thought I would actually throw it over.
It became everything that you were criticising, didn't you?
A little bit. Yeah, it's a bit of an ironic segment. So anyway, that's enough about Kane Corns of the Week. Plus, I don't mind Kane anymore as well. He's grown on me a bit. But anywho, I thought I'd throw it over to the audience who are seeing these things firsthand, those things that are just making people's blood boil. Someone that's in the media who's saying things just for the sake of it, that sort of stuff. So same concept. Going to call it something like Media Watch, I'm thinking, which, ABC, shout out.
They can't sue, they got no money.
Okay, sweet. ABC Media Watch it is. We'll post in the way it goes. But anyway, we've got a caller, a good friend of the show, James. James, are you there?
How are this night, gentlemen?
Yeah, going well, mate. How are you?
Just driving in a tunnel, James.
Just wondering if you happen to see the article that came out last Friday about De Goey being compared to Gary Ablett.
I did see
I saw that too. It did rustle my cages a little bit.
Oh, just wanted to show that is another clear point of the media carrying on that the AFL is right now. A bloke kicked 5 goals on a Thursday night, and all of a sudden he's getting compared to a bloke that averages 4 goals a game, kicked 1,000 goals in his career, kicked 4 or 300 goal seasons. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous now.
So how many games do you reckon De Goey's had, or how many do you reckon he needs before he can even just that can be the heading in a article?
Maybe kick me more than 30 goals a season. That'd be a good start.
Sting.
Whack.
There you go. So tell us how you really feel, James.
I mean,
Haven't slept since Thursday, have you?
during the Western Bulldogs game, and being one of Hawthorn supporter I was, you'd think I'd be pretty furious about the free kicks that were given away in the last quarter. But the most infuriating thing was actually BT's commentary.
Oh, we're taking down 2.
Are you trying to get a regular spot on this show, James?
I mean, imagine having him and Bruce in the same commentary box. It's just, you got Bruce saying you just feel over and over again. And then BT's trying to string together as many childish words as he can in a sentence. It's just ridiculous.
Well, there you go.
That's James's take. Tune in next week when James joins us once again.
Might have to get you in live, James, just so you can really just flesh out
He'll
these.
probably bash us up or something. He's furious.
To be honest,
I think you are being honest, James. I don't think anyone's doubted that at any point in time.
I just don't think it would be that hard to be able to get a couple of commentators in the box that could have a constructive sentence about what's actually happening in the game, instead of a bloke sitting there going, you just feel the team's going to get into it when they're down by 40 points. No, they're not, Bruce. And then you got BT sitting there going, boy, oh boy, where we erupt your Fantasia and all this other random shit.
It's not even playing either.
Exactly. It's not that hard. Bring back Dennis.
Bring back Dennis.
Yeah, bring back Dennis.
Hashtag bring back Dennis.
The
There it
only
is.
way to finish every phone call, I think, is bring back Dennis.
Yeah.
James, thanks for joining.
And don't even get me started on Johnny Ralph.
Well, we won't. I promise you, we will not get you started on Johnny Ralph. We'll wait for next week when hopefully you've taken a couple of deep breaths and maybe a glass of water. James, thanks very much for being a part of Ben's Media Watch segment. Sounds like a real goer, so thanks for being a part of it.
Thanks very much, boys. Have a good
Thanks,
night.
James.
Ben, a few weeks ago when we introduced the three-man weave segment, which has been very successful as a way to three-man weave, as a way to close out the show. Jack, who is here tonight, despite his silence, he's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, arranging the studio audience for us. A few technical problems, but we won't we won't delve too far into that.
We could just push on, I think.
Yeah, but so Jack made the call that if there is a Marcus out there, please get in touch with the show, and we can change a segment to Marcus up.
I can't believe that out of all the things that he doesn't do behind the scenes, he manages to actually get a Marcus
To find
off
a
the
Marcus
street.
out at the Preston market. That just
Who
rolls
actually
in-
agreed to come in on Tuesday to
rolls in
read
and,
some quick hands.
So Marcus, thanks for joining us, mate.
Bring me away.
No worries, Jake. Thanks for having me.
You're very, very
We're both
welcome.
having you.
Yeah, this is not my house.
You're welcome. Ungrateful prick, I tell you those Marcuses.
But so you've got the list of topics that you're going to kick up in the air.
Yeah, a few things we wouldn't mind chatting about. First off, what do we think of James Sicily's implosion in the last quarter?
Love him.
Yeah, I love it.
He's great for the game.
Love it.
He's
Some of the
he's
worst.
such an idiot, though, but I love him.
Some of the worst umpiring you'll see all year was in that last quarter of that game.
Yeah.
So it was warranted.
And they just target him, and because they know they get the reaction.
But yeah, your questions only, by the way. I don't know.
Less opinion, market man.
To get you in here, we didn't tell you how this goes down. What's the next one? Quick hands, it's called.
All right, second topic.
Three-man
Mason
weave.
Cox bump. Was it worthy of a suspension or a report?
Garbage, so good it got thrown out.
Yeah, I
It's
totally
just
agree.
Remarkable.
Yeah.
Michael Christian's lost the plot.
Speaking of Mason Cox, what do we think about the USA champs?
Disgusting.
Wouldn't have said disgusting.
Disgusting.
6-1, who cares? You can chant what you want. You chant about your favourite player. You always yell out.
You don't know what I yell at.
You
don't
yell
know
out Tipper when he's around trying to chase somebody
call
down.
that Cox or like Big Coxie or something like that. Or
So you don't yell out Timbuller every time Joe Watson used to go near the ball?
no. Or New York. I don't yell at New York every time Joe Watson went near the ball.
Okay. Next.
All right, last one. Out of all the 2-0 teams currently, which one's the real deal?
I was just
Sorry, that was
Jack
the
just
share.
farting on his.
That was the leather-bound
chair.
share. Go.
No, he's already asked the question.
Oh, sorry.
Who are the teams? Who are the teams?
Yeah,
Alright,
just go
so
through 'em.
Out of Geelong, Brisbane, Port, Western Bulldogs, and St Kilda, who are the real deal?
Geelong and Port.
Just Geelong, yeah.
Oh, you don't rate Port?
Nah, they were okay against Carlton, but they're no real deal.
Okay.
All right, Marcus, well, you might be back next week. No promises. See yourself out, though.
You've done well.
Thanks, boys.
Thank you.
All right, Benny, well, that's just another show for us. Thanks very much to the live studio audience.
Yeah, we need to get them seats, I think, next time. They're a little looking a bit
it's so
sore
awkward.
over
They're just standing there.
I just want to go home.
Realise that it's absolutely no fun being
So
in the
you
live
offer them
studio
some
audience.
hummus and they actually don't leave.
Jack, probably your best episode yet. The amount of contributions you gave us tonight was absolutely fantastic, so thank you. And Ben, as good as ever, good luck with your footy tips this week. They're still down the gurgler. As I said last week, the lady at work who...
Where's she now?
She's now about 8 clear on top after another dodgy week. But we also had some other feedback during the week at work. Someone who tuned into the show. She's not from Australia. She's from New Zealand, and she doesn't know much about Australian rules. But she came up to me and said, "You guys are the Hamish and Andy of the AFL." I said, "Exactly right, we are."
Thank you, Michelle.
So
What was her
there you
name?
go. Hannah. I hope
Hannah.
that we get those sort of pay packets too. Would be fantastic, wouldn't it?
That would be nice. I think we need to put out a bit more work.
Okay. Magoos viewers, thanks for tuning in. Same as always, like, share, subscribe. Thanks for all the guests who joined us on the phone. Make sure you get around all the social content. And next week, we'll have a response from Dom Sheed. Look out. Thanks, Benny.
Thanks, Jake.